So what were we doing before our 3-month break? That's right. We were using different methods to solve quadratic equations, right? Wow, it's 4th hour and you guys are still sleepy-eyed. All right, the first method was solving quadratics by factoring. Right, we would factor and then set each one of the factors equal to 0 and find out what x is, right? The second method was solving by, taking the square roots. That was actually one of the easier ones. And then we did completing the square, was the third method, right? You have like an empty look on your face.
No, I'm actually listening to
you. Are you? Okay. And then the fourth one, which is the one that always works on every quadratic equation, is the quadratic formula, right? So that's the one I'm going to go over. Anybody remember the quadratic formula?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give it a shot.
Of course you do.
What?
Oh, you want me to say it?
Yeah. Say it out loud.
Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Wonderful. Wow, very good. Okay. So let's go ahead and plug in our A, B, and C. So I'm looking at number 1 here. And my A is 2. My B is negative 2. And my C is 6. You ready? We ready? Can we just plug it in now? Yes? Are you sure?
No. Don't confuse me like that. No.
She's going to keep changing your answers the more you look at her.
Are you sure? Want to change it?
No.
You don't want to change your answer?
No.
So it's a no? You don't want to do it? Yes?
You're hurting my head.
Just do it. You got this.
Okay, yeah, we could go ahead and do this, but we would have to do some simplification at the end of the problem, right? That can be a pain because we did it when we were doing learning it. We can, before we plug them in, we can take out a factor or 2 for each one of the numbers, right? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, we definitely probably would have used 2, negative 2, and 6, but it's okay.
No.
Well,
I changed my answer. I said
oh, you did change your answer. Well, my mistake then. All right, so let's go ahead and plug these in. So x equals negative b. So negative, my b is negative 1, plus or minus square root of b, which is negative 1, squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times 8, which is 2. We good? Now what? Now what do we do? I don't think way, way, way back. Do you remember what we did next? Huh? Can't hear you. You're. Oh, type what into the calculator? Who talked quiet?
her. They said it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Type it into the type what into the calculator?
What's under the little V thing?
Oh, what's under the little V thing? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to take what's underneath the square root and put it in our handy-dandy calculators, right? All right, let's do it. So, did anyone do it yet? Negative 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3. And I get negative 11. So I'm going to substitute in negative 11 for the everything under the v thingy. X equals negative negative 1 is positive 1. Plus or minus square root of negative 11 divided by 2. Now what?
See if you can simplify it.
Yeah, let's simplify it. So, well, we got to do this square root of negative 11. What's the square root of negative 11? Huh? What?
Prime number.
Odd number?
Prime number.
Prime number. 11 is a prime number. Good. Let's get an approximation. Let's go ahead and do that. Somebody put this in their calculators.
It would be something like 3 points.
Yes, it would be something like 3 point.
6?
Because 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16.
Yeah.
So it's going to be between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Square root of negative 11.
You got this.
Error.
Error?
Answer.
3.31.
I got an error.
I think you put it in the wrong. I've got 3.316.
Jared, you got a number?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Let's do it again.
What does that mean?
Square root of negative 11.
Oh wait. Oh, I didn't.
Because you
put
should get a negative number, right?
Didn't put the negative.
Yeah, it's error.
Error.
So was the error correct?
Yeah. Non-real answer.
See, it wasn't your fault.
Right.
Why do you think you got an error? Okay, good. You got an error because when you tried to take the square root of negative 11 or a negative number, your calculator couldn't do it, right? Can you do it by manually? If you got a smart brain. So like you wouldn't have an Abby normal brain. You got to have a smart brain.
Actually, I'm going to use Jared.
Or just ask Jared.
Yeah.
Jared, why did we get an error when we tried to take a square root of a negative number?
Because of no matter if you square any like a negative, it becomes a positive, and the same with a positive, so you can't really get a negative square root.
Wonderful. Yeah, in our number system, remember what the square root does, right? The square root, very good, Jared, by the way. That was excellent. If we took the square root of, say, 16, we either get 4 times 4, right? That's 16. Or negative 4 times negative 4. That's 16. So a positive number is okay. But if we were trying to take the square root of a negative 16, what two numbers am I going to multiply together, the same number, that's going to give me a negative 16? There is none. Ah, that was excellent, Jared. Good job.
See?
So,
Start listening.
what happens when I get, what does this mean, actually? Anybody know that?
After.
I'm saying, we need to like.
Well, we have all kinds of different parabolas, right? We have parabolas, when we were doing all these solving quadratic with the different methods, sometimes we would get two numbers, right? Two x-intercepts, two zeros, two roots, two solutions, whatever you want to call them, right? We would get two numbers. Sometimes we would only add up to one number, right? 0, root, solution, x-intercept. What do you think is happening here?
It's not touching any.
It's not touching any. Boy, who said that?
Jared.
Oh.
I'm telling you. Just
Wow.
Jared.
It's not touching any. So what would we end up seeing? Normally, what would we end up saying if we had a situation like this? What's the solution?
No solution?
No solution. We would just say in mathematics, hey, we can't prove it, so there's no solution.
Amen.
Right? Well, guess what? We have a way of finding a solution. And that's what it's called imaginary numbers, and I agree with the author of this thing, or the announcer, that it's really, I hate the name imaginary because it is a whole new set of number system. Shouldn't be called imaginary. And that's what the videos are going to show. So, guys, get your popcorn ready,
Let's get with it. Got
this is going to be an exciting 20, 25 minutes.
this.